What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind, and I figure now is as good a time as any to talk about how I feel about the Mandalorian trailer that dropped like a couple of days ago. And I'm going to say right off the top, I more than a little bit like this trailer. I love the trailer. It looks great. It looks exciting. It looks like there's a plot. You know, it gets me curious. And there's a world here. You know what I mean? It's like you really do get the feeling that you're about to step into a different world, you know, and this world looks vast. It looks like some place that you want to be, although it does look dangerous, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of the excitement of it. And the world actually looks familiar. You know, it feels familiar. It feels like it's totally that same universe that we got into in Star Wars Episode 4. You know, it's got that feel. It's got that same, you know, like it's got its own rules type stuff. Like you don't know what you're going to see around every corner. There could be something new, you know, it just feels fresh that way. In a way that a lot of the things that Disney Star Wars has been doing, it hasn't been able to achieve that feel. Like this trailer here feels so much more inviting than the current Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker trailer. You know, that trailer feels like you're being dropped into trash. Like it's just all types of craziness that's going on. You don't know what it is. It's all disjointed. It's like this one actually looks like there is some context, you know, so bravo for that. The only reservation I have is that it has kind of a gritty feel to it. You know, it has an edgy, dangerous kind of feel to it, which is good. I mean, that's the way I like my Star Wars for sure. But the thing is that that's really not compatible with what we've been led to believe that Disney Star Wars represents. You know, Disney Star Wars is more like your favorite breakfast cereal, silly rabbit. It's for kids, you know, so that's what we keep being told. It's for kids. And it goes directly against those of us who are critical, because we're being told that I guess in some way we're supposed to lower our expectations because it's for kids. You know, I know that a lot of things that I watched when I was a kid was pretty damn edgy, you know what I mean? But being that it's for kids, it means that, you know, adults have nothing to say about it. Or being that there's a woman who is at the head of a Disney movie, like with Rey, it means that men aren't supposed to be critical. And being that there's a so-called minority, it means that non-minorities can't say anything. It's like all they're about is just dividing people, you know, and like specifically individually wrapping their products up like freaking Twinkies. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like as long as they have that mentality, it's very, very hard for me to believe that they're going to deliver on what they're suggesting in this trailer. You know, and but it does make me think, guys. It does make me think. If they were going to get gritty and they were going to get dark and they were going to do this on Disney Plus, why haven't they been able to do this in the movies? You know what I mean? Like with this so-called sequel trilogy, why haven't they been able to capture that? Because when we saw the trailer for The Last Jedi, it almost looked like they were going for a darker feel, a more dangerous feel. It's like when you heard Luke say, "The Jedi must end." That's a heavy thing to say for those of us who came up in Star Wars and know what it is and know who Luke is. What would make Luke say such a thing? You know, so it like gave us all of these feelings of curiosity and wonder, you know, like, oh my God, but they didn't deliver on it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just made me start thinking about possibilities, right? If they did want to go dark or they did want to get edgy, it's like, what if in the sequel trilogy, it's like you started it, and we talked about this before. It's like they started it with our original three, you know, specifically with Luke. Let's say that Luke has been training himself, you know, much like a bodybuilder. Okay, he's a professional, you know, he's a master Jedi. But even though he's a master Jedi, doesn't mean that he's still not going to push himself to see where the boundaries are, where the limits of the Force are, how strong can he get. You know, like I said before, a professional bodybuilder will keep on training and keep on pushing himself. He wants to achieve his personal best. Luke would be no different. So let's say that inadvertently Luke created a disturbance in the Force with all of his self-training and stuff like that. And the ripple effect could be felt across the galaxy and beyond. And the disturbance of the Force that he created, let's say that it somehow awakened, okay, Force Awakenings, let's say it awakened the dormant Force inside of Force sensitive people throughout the galaxy and beyond who didn't even know what it is. So when they start feeling this power inside of them, it's something that's alien to them, and they're all going to have very distinct reactions to knowing now that they have this power. This opens up a whole new world. And let's say that one of the people that he was able to reach, this would be our story's Rey. Okay, when you meet Rey, it won't be like how it was in the so-called trilogy here. Let's say Rey is feral. Okay, she's like 2 steps above a savage, and because she's been raised by herself, she's been abandoned. She's had to make her own way. That means she's capable of anything. She's capable of killing, anything to defend herself and to survive. She barely knows how to speak. Okay, but somehow this feeling has been awakened inside of her. She now she needs to know, like, where is this coming from? She's scared by this, and that's how we're introduced to her, when she is awakened in her force, and let's say Luke's nephew, Kylo, the Kylo character, let's say he is also awakened, but Kylo, it's been established, has always had a fascination with the dark side of the Force. He doesn't want to embrace it, but he can't help but be drawn to it because it's just this curiosity that he's got. And the disturbance that Luke has caused, let's say it compounds his curiosity, to want to delve into the dark side. Now he's drifting over there. He can't really control his fascination, like a moth to the flame, you know what I mean? And let's say someone else that he is also awakened is a stormtrooper. Now, Kylo is not in the First Order yet. Let's say we're introduced to Snoke now. We're introduced to Supreme Leader Snoke properly, okay? And Snoke is also of the Force some kind of way, So let's say one of his stormtroopers is awakened, all right? That would be our Finn character. This would explain why he broke his programming in the middle of a mission, because all of a sudden he's like, what? But he, unlike Kylo, has always been more of a good character. He's got a good nature, I should say. So when he is awakened to the Force within him, he can no longer like reconcile that with the fact that he's a killer. So now he's drawn to, I guess, being better, which is why he would try to abandon. So like I said, this just opens up so many possibilities, and it explains story in a way that this so-called sequel trilogy never did. And in the center of it, you have Luke, the son of the chosen one. Okay, it's almost poetic, and he has given birth to a whole new conflict without even trying, without even knowing it. And once he realizes what he has done, let's say somehow after the Finn character abandons the First Order, let's say, okay, he goes on to meet feral, dangerous, savage Rey, and somehow they're drawn to one another to figure out what's going on. They realize both of them have this power that they can't explain. And Luke, like I said, think of it like with the X-Men, with Professor X, with Cerebro, but but it's a little bit different, okay? But that's the same concept. It's reached out to everybody through his own, power, through his own force. They become known to Luke, and like I said, Luke begins to feel guilt once he realizes what he has done. And this would explain now why Luke becomes conflicted, why Luke becomes disillusioned with himself, because after all of this time of peace and everything, it's because of him that it's given risen. Oh, it's given risen. It's given a way to this rise, this awakening in the Force, both good and bad, so yeah. And that would be a very edgy, gritty kind of story to tell if you were committed to it, So, like I said, for some reason, the Mandalorian made me think of that, because when I see the Mandalorian, I think, man, this is kind of what I would have expected Finn to be, like a loner, a dangerous guy, who is, somehow trying to make his way through this landscape and be, maybe a better person, but it's not safe for him to be, that kind of thing. So, yeah, man, it's like I said, imagination, sometimes can run away with you. If Disney would only be committed to Star Wars and stop being committed to virtue signaling and, social statements and stuff, but as far as The Mandalorian is concerned, I am cautiously optimistic. It's like, I hope that it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be what it looks like and more, but like I said, with Disney, it's kind of tricky. I just don't know if it's going to be a good fit. It reminds me of when I watched Solo, and I initially said in my review of Solo Would this have been different if they used original characters instead of trying to pass this guy off as Han Solo? What if they committed finally to real original characters? You know, it probably would have served the story a lot better. So I guess we're going to see. You know, we have some original characters coming up, you know, with the Mandalorian. So let's see how they handle it. All right, guys. So what did you think? Are you looking forward to this? I mean, like I said, it looks great, you know, but, you know, what do you think? Do you think that Dizznee is a good fit? Do you think they can actually deliver on this promise? You can get in the comment section. Let me know. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And when you subscribe, please hit the all button. When you hit that notification bell, hit all so you get all notifications, okay? Because YouTube just did a cleansing, a purge, if you will. So you lose subs when that happens. So make sure you're still subscribed. All right, guys. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter, and I'll be there. Check me out. All right, guys. That's it for now. I'll catch you in the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.